I guess they fit. Like a glove. Hello, Galaxy. I'm Chris Pirillo. Not pulling a Michael Jackson impression. That was a different kind of glove. I think his glove had sequins. These are glider gloves that were sent to me by, I guess, Glider Gloves would be the company. Touchscreen friendly. And the nice thing is, you can even use these gloves with iOS 6. That's why I wanted these gloves, for real. Because they are iOS 6 compatible. So it's really strange because there's like this mesh on the gloves. I think that's what makes them potentially touchscreen compatible. No, it can't be because the fingertips don't have the mesh on them. Those they definitely fit, although it feels like there's like a tag in here. Hang on. Nope, no tag. Okay, that's good. Sometimes I get agitated. Well, they're sparkly this way, but we're not talking about the sparkly factor, are we? No, we're not. So I just said they sent them to me.
Oh, okay. If they didn't send them to you, how would you have paid for them?
They sent them to me. If you're talking about people earning gift cards,
yeah.
Yes, they can earn gift cards. If they want, they could buy their own with gift cards. Head over to go.tagjag.com/free points. Earn gift cards on either iOS or Android. Let's see here. We're gonna test. Even though it's not like full on winter, it is pretty chilly. It's getting chilly out there. I'm not sure how I feel about the gumminess on the gloves, which give it grip. You know, like if I was like scaling the walls and needed to like grip the walls, like they're not like suction cups or anything, but there's definitely some grip there. There's got to be a reason for that. It says anti-slip grip keeps a secure hold of your device. Ah, that's actually really, that is very, very smart. So you can hold the device securely, and then I can say, let's swipe up, double tap, swipe up. Oh yeah, look at that. I can log in, do all my things, like that. Oh, yep. Swipe, 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 swipe. Oh, that was a tap. Swipe, swipe, swipe. And they're warm. These are glider gloves. Urban medium. The ones I'm really interested in trying are the winter gloves. Because the ones that I had before, I mean, yeah, they're touchscreen friendly. But they don't offer much in terms of warmth. So I was looking for the winter gloves. So yeah, the anti-slip dots. That's actually really intelligent. Hadn't had that before. Made with a conducive yarn for full touch response, layering technology for superior warmth. And that's the urban value there. And Diana was probably going to like those. She ultimately steals my gloves because I have them. And then she says, oh, no, those were mine. I'm like, no, they weren't. They were mine. No, they were mine. And I don't think I'm going to be able to slice it. Oh, there's some gummy, sticky thing here. What the heck that is? Give me a second. I have to open these because I got to find out which ones I like more to tell you which ones Diana's are going to wear. The ones that Diana, I'm hoping, will take from me rather than the ones I want to wear. Okay, so these are definitely thicker. Man. Oh, yeah, those are definitely thicker. This had been a great, when I needed to, like, shovel a walk. Oh, yeah. They do fit like a glove. Very tight around the wrist to keep you warm, but again, you've got capacitive touch and grip as well. Good for potentially cold weather. So thank you. They sent me the glider gloves. So we now are set for this winter season. God, see, that's the interesting thing. I'd be like, why is there a grip? And then like, oh yeah. And they're soft too. Another reason I would not wear gloves is if they were not soft. These are very, very soft. Very soft. And see, stark contrast as well to, my hoodie, which I would wear outside with a jacket over it. And if you don't have, like, winter gloves, you need to get some. And if you have a device that you interact with by way of touch, you really need to get gloves that would enable you to do that. Now I guess I'd be inclined to recommend the Grippies. That's actually a big, huge bonus. Glad to hear I've got some rubber glove fixation thing going on. Dude, do you have this confused with Chris Pirillo Uncensored, Ragnar? We got a little raucous last night. If you did not tune in to TLDR in the other YouTube channel where we do it every weekday, youtube.com/LockerGnome. You can go back and watch all those videos if you want. We do that there on the weekdays. On the weekends, we do TLDR in the classic Chris Pirillo channel. Always doing video for you. And then, after we got done with TLDR on YouTube. I did that with Barnacles Nerdgasm. Yeah, we had another Geek Out live here. I hopped over to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo is where you'll be able to join us after this broadcast today. And we'll do another CPU episode, which is now short for Chris Pirillo Uncensored. You never really know what Chris is going to say. You never really know what's going to happen. Just like any live video, honestly. Very happy to be able to do that. Got quite a Twitch community going and growing. We gained about 125 people last night in terms of followers on Twitch. Not that many subs, but if you want to become a sub of mine on Twitch, I'd be very grateful for that. That would also get you access to the Discord chat room that's open 24/7. Your base of a community around me. It's not even the Chris Pirillo chat room. It's called the Cantina. Just about anything goes. We were out and about today. We went to this learning workshop, like a toy store. And what was really cool about it was, and we also met someone. We also met a stormtrooper at a comic store grand opening. That was fun. We got some free pop vinyl. I got a Justin Bieber pop vinyl. Now, before you laugh, it was free. So I'm not gonna be too sad about that. That may end up not staying in my collection though. If it's not Star Wars, it's probably not in my collection. The morning was just jam packed, but the store had this stuff like Floaf. Can't remember what it's called, but it was better than Play-Doh. And I was a Play-Doh fan as a kid, but my mom hated it because it got into carpet and everything. And Jedi's been wanting that kind of like moldy kind of putty. And I just worry about it getting in places. So we found the white stuff. Oh, oh, oh. The white, the Weird Al Yankovic song. It's the only song that I know has the white stuff in it. Of course, it was talking about a sandwich cookie. But, the thing about that is Jedi, we finally found a nice creative toy for her to play with that won't mess up the carpet. Obi-Wan Stoney comes in with the very first super chat of the evening. Thank you. Remember, this is an AMA with you and me. If you don't like the course of this video, you have a chance to change its direction by asking a question. Favorite Star Wars movie? Whichever one is the new one. And I know that's a horrible answer. You're probably looking for something a lot more definitive, but I could watch any one of them and be relatively happy. And I know some people are like, no, how could you watch the prequels? I'm like, I kind of got over it. They're not perfect, but then again, none of the movies were. In the original trilogy, I think I liked The Empire Strikes Back most. In the prequel trilogy, I think there are elements of Revenge of the Sith that I think I appreciate better, although I don't necessarily think it's the best one. In the new trilogy, couldn't tell you until it's completed, but I still go and to the point of saying whatever the latest Star Wars movie is, well, the one I'm looking forward to most. In this case, the next one is The Last Jedi, and then after I'm past that, I'll be like, I can't wait for Solo, and then after that, it's going to be episode 9 to finish off the trilogy, and then the next trilogy comes along. Star Wars is always top of mind, and I finally got Battlefront 2, even though I know a lot of people have complained about it because of what EA is doing with the microtransaction model. They lifted the idea, or at least temporarily removed the idea of buying crystals, which sounded confusing to me. So yay, it's not there, but they'll bring it back in some way, shape, or form. So hopefully they don't completely make this as unplayable as the first Battlefront in 2005 was. I mean, the first reboot of Battlefront. I did not enjoy getting my clock cleaned every time I turned on the game. So I will be streaming, as I've mentioned several times over, ever since I can remember. I will be live video game streaming, playing in video gaming in potentially a couple places. One, youtube.com/Star Wars Radar. It's my Star Wars dedicated channel. And then 2, I may actually try doing it on my Twitch channel to see where the community tends to want me to do it, where I get either more super chats, like the one from Dan J. Rel 1, or whether I get more cheers or subs out of Twitch. So I don't know where I'm going to end up playing. And by the way, I do have Star Wars Radar on Twitch, that handle, but I'd just be inclined to try it on Chris Pirillo to see how well it works, even though most of the video games that I'm going to be playing, are Battlefront-ish. I have been using Twitch specifically to do IRL. I'm more of an IRL kind of guy than anything. We do have another super chat. I got to give super chat precedence to all the other questions. Also, the questions from our community here in the Discord chat room, which you can join, as I mentioned before, through patreon.com/Chris Pirillo or twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. Wrath K asks, what are your thoughts on the new Star Wars land coming to Disney World and Disneyland in 2019? There's actually a planet name. Batuu? Batuu? Batoo? Boy, hang on. It's so new. Let me see if I got this right, because I may have nailed it. Oh, man! Did I get it right? No, that can't be right.
B-A-T-U-U, someone said.
No, I don't think it's UU. Is it B-A-T-U-U? Batuu? Yeah, it's it. I got it right. I just spelled it wrong. That's awesome. So it's going to be Batuu. Visit the planet Batuu. I'm very excited. I don't think I'm going to, go there specifically to go to Star Wars Land. I'd be happy to do an engagement with Disney, given that they are my MCN of record. Whether or not that'll happen, I couldn't tell you. But yeah, I'm in. I'm definitely in. I'm excited about their Star Wars hotel, although I guess it's a luxury hotel they're building. That is probably going to remain out of reach. I was supposed to do the Star Wars Day at Sea, courtesy of Disney last year, but you might remember I got sick. So I was happy that Disney still recognizes that I exist. And they're very, they've been very good to work with in those senses. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Can't wait. I think it's what needed to happen a long time ago. The kid in me is screaming for more. My thoughts are it's long overdue. My thoughts are Star Wars is one of the biggest franchises ever known. Given that so much attention has been paid even to Battlefront II, it just doesn't surprise me. Because people want to play Star Wars games. They love Star Wars, and they love games, right? So Star Wars games come along, they can't wait. Well, this is probably one of the best/worst games to come along in a long time. I've heard so much controversy around how EA has handled this, and I'm kind of disappointed because I just want to play a good game. But remember, I'm the guy that loved the Empire Strikes Back, the Atari game from Parker Brothers that I've got stacked over there on one of the shelves. It can be opened. I'm not gonna. But I have. Hang on, let me show you. Jeez. You guys don't believe me. If I tell you it's there, and you're like, he doesn't really have it. He didn't show it.
That's not what they sound like.
That's pretty much what they sound like. I'm guaranteeing it. Yeah, I told you this is like one of my favorite video games of all time. This is the first Star Wars video game, to my knowledge. Parker Brothers, The Empire Strikes Back, in box. We'll go ahead and open it for Atari and Sears video game systems. Here we have the instruction booklet. Didn't really need one. Other Parker Brothers video games. I want to get the other Star Wars cartridges. There was the Star Wars self-titled one and Return of the Jedi, but they're very rare, which is disappointing. But I loved playing The Empire Strikes Back, and here's the cartridge. It probably still works, but I don't have my Atari 2600 fully set up. I have the original one. Not my original one, but I have an original that I haven't connected. But I've been playing Star Wars video games ever since, long before half of you were born. So I can't wait to just get in and just enjoy playing Star Wars video games. Those are hey Chris, what video games do you like to play? I like Star Wars video games. We've got another question here. This one courtesy of a super chat. How do you think AI should be regulated? That's a fantastic question. You guys are coming up with really good questions tonight. How can we make sure nobody's making algorithms that can hurt finance or people? And what 3 areas do you think will benefit the most from advanced AI? Oh, man, dude. Thank you. This is, let's see if I can get your name here. Vebjorn? Sandvik? I don't really know how to say that, but I really appreciate the question. I'm not sure I'd say AI needs to be regulated, because you can't necessarily regulate software. The problem with setting boundaries for software, and if the software is intelligent enough, it can overcome those boundaries. We are probably coming ever so close to Skynet, which is frightening. It's quite a frightening prospect. How can we make sure nobody's making algorithms that can hurt finance or people? I think using Asimov's 3 laws of robotics is a fantastic foundation for that. And I think adhering to that would probably be the only kind of regulation or oversight that we could expect. And certainly, have stood the test of time to be known as the laws of robotics. So those, are I think, critical as we move forward into the idea of artificial intelligence, well beyond what we know it to be right now. Just like, it's kind of like where we are today. compared to where we will be in the future will be like the difference between... Let's see. Ooh, I have that upside down. Sorry. Give me a second. Continuity. I put the top on upside down. That would drive me nuts, believe it or not. Going from video games that look like that to video games that look like this, right? So this is where we are with AI right now. This is Siri. This is Google Assistant. This is Alexa. This is Bixby. And this is where it's going to be in a few short years. So the foundations that we lay now, I think, are absolutely critical. What 3 areas do I think will benefit? Number 1, health. Number 1, because if we don't have health, we have nothing. 2, transportation. I think that's going to be, another one of those things that we need to be mobile. And the third thing could very well be in intelligence and us gathering intelligence. It's now more important to know how to get to something than it is to need to know the something. Like when I was your age, I had to know my multiplication tables, and I never mastered them. I math and numbers have never been my strong suit, but I had to have that in memory, rote memory. Like I could go to it with a reply like right away. 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, then if you ask me, what's 5 times 6? I'd be like, 30? I have to think about it a little more. But now it's just more important to know how to get to the answer than it is to know the actual answer. And that's it's a shift in thinking. Hopefully critical thinking skills aren't lost. I do lament that, I feel that a great majority of people who are in social media just lack the ability to think and feel any degree of responsibility and are very... not self-centered, entitled. I think the entitlement I see in social media, YouTube included, is pretty. It's bad. Like they think they demand my time, right? I'm like, wait a minute, hang on. I'm a human being just like you are, right? I will tell you what I can do, and I'll tell you what I can't do. This microwave type of society where you expect an immediate, like 10 seconds and it's done type of response to a query. It's going to be a radical shift in how we get intelligence. Maybe not how we act upon intelligence, but certainly how we get to it. And learning as a part of it. We have another super chat from Wilco1985. Says, strangest or most rare Star Wars item you own? Well, I own a few rare items. I feel my blue snaggletooth is rare. Certainly one of the more rare Star Wars figures. The Yak face was also rare, never really released in the United States. Very proud of having those two as a part of my vintage Star Wars figure collection. The loose collection. C9 condition with accessories. No repro. Those are rare. But in terms of the most rare, right now, I would say the Darth Vader helmet that they sent to me a couple of years ago as a part of Prop Shop out of the UK. In fact, they were originally going to send me to the UK. They said, hey, would you come out here and want to look at Prop Shop? I was like, See, I'm the kind of free trip to the UK. No, I'm like, what do you got? What else can happen? And they said, well, we can just send it to you. I'm like, that sounds very convenient to me. So I ended up getting the Darth Vader helmet, the melted helmet, the same melted helmet that you saw in The Force Awakens. It was effectively a replica, but they were only going to produce like hundreds of these replicas of the Darth Vader melted helmet. I mean, the exact sculpt, and they went in, like, touched it up by hand and everything. But ultimately, even though people ordered these things, what was it? It was worth like $1,500 or something like that. No, $2,000. Originally, it was worth thousands. It was worth so much. And then Prop Shop basically went out of business. So the replicas that were made, they didn't make them. They didn't make the replicas ad infinitum. So I have a very rare replica. That's a replica I lucked into. I don't chase props or replicas. That's not my thing. But I would say that's probably the most rare. I wouldn't say strangest, though. I don't know what I'd say for strangest.
You unrare socks.
That's not strange. That's lifestyle. I don't think I have any strange stuff. If it's Vader, it's not strange to me. I don't know. I'd have to think about the strangest. But that's the most, absolutely the most rare. Oh, I guess, yeah, someone sent yogurt unopened from Germany. I like getting the Star Wars stuff from overseas. So if you live, like, in a country that isn't America and you get Star Wars stuff, send it along. That would be great because I can't get it. Like, the UK and France had, like, Bic pins. They had, like, these multi-clicky pins that are Star Wars branded. And I loved it. This was like one of the things I wanted most as a kid. This multicolored pin. That's the reason why it's still over here. But they have a Star Wars one, and I can't get it because I don't live in that country. Liz, when she came down from Canada, brought me some the what is it, Kinder Egg surprises, and of course I opened this one up, and there's a Darth Vader on an X-wing. Or, I'm sorry, TIE Fighter. I wanted to get the Star Wars Hippos. I guess there's a Hippo series that was released in Germany. I mean, there's so many great from across the world. I love those types of Star Wars items that I can't get at the store. I can only get the stuff that's here in America, or if it's sent to me as a gift from overseas, like the Star Wars beer that I got. The unofficial Star Wars beer that I didn't crack into yesterday, but the Stout Trooper. It's the one with the Stormtrooper on the label that's got a disguise on because they got in trouble for putting a Stormtrooper on the label. I wanted that beer just because it's like, it would have been great to have the original one without the disguise. But I will be cracking into that potentially tonight. Jesse Alvarez comes in saying, hello from Yakima, Washington. Well, hello, Yakima. Well, that's not your name. We were close to you today, kind of not really. Kent. We got as far as Kent for that comic store opening. Some people who had come to Galaxar and supported Galaxar. So I opted to go to them to go to their grand opening. But hopefully they'll be able to connect me with the Kent area business, the Chamber of Commerce in the city, to see about bringing Galaxar there because other cities don't seem to want it as much. So we've got a couple other things I wanted to show you. I've got a virtual reality headset thing from Gillette, Justice League virtual reality VR viewer. I can't use these. This if VR is the same to me is puking and getting headaches and motion sickness. So these are neat. I'm not actually going to be using them, but I know someone who absolutely will and can, someone who does not mind VR. I do. But I am also grateful that they passed along the best superhero can get. The best a superhero can get. That's the hashtag. The best a superhero can get. They sent me this little card, this little piece of paper with the Justice League on it, with some razors. Now, what's really cool about this, I mean, Gillette and Justice League, obviously they're sharp. They look to be 3D printed. Each one of these things.
Discord's down, just so you know.
It's down?
Yeah.
Period?
Yep.
Oh, they've been having problems with Google. So, sorry, that's them. So, let's see here. Let's take a closer look. Yeah, dude, those are 3D printed. That's pretty cool. It's really unique. I think that's a neat way of doing it. Multicolor. They even have a Wonder Woman. Yeah, I can see. Can you?
Aren't you sad I'm going to be gone soon?
I'm so depressed that I won't have Mom sitting here trying to produce something that I produce on a regular basis independent of Mom. No, Liz is not my mom. But they're collector's items. I like this kind of stuff. Really cool. 3D printed. So I now have other 3D printed stuff. I don't have a lot of 3D printed stuff. Jerry hasn't brought anything over lately. He did. I want to say he made me the pen or pencil holder. I know he made me the Lego Darth Vader minifigure that still sits here. I think he made me the smaller tester Darth Vader helmet thing. I have a few of those sitting around, but I don't necessarily collect 3D printed stuff, and I definitely don't have 3D printed objects. So this is really neat that they sent this. I can shave and be a Superman. Or I can shave and be a Batman. Or I can shave in a Flash. Or this is Cyborg? Yeah? I gotta get more acquainted with the DC universe. Really nice case, too. As you can see there, it's intercapped here. Here it was a little more difficult to figure out what's going on. The best a superhero can get. So that means I'm a superhero. I think that's official. Yeah, Discord, in case you're wondering, has been experiencing ups and downs over the past 2 days. I have nothing to do with it, so please don't tell me it's happening. But the interesting thing was a tweet, or I guess a post on their status update page. They're basically throwing Google under the bus. They said, it's not us, it's Google. So don't blame Discord. That's Google's problem. And that's what Discord has said. I have no reason to not believe them, but it's something you got to deal with. Sometimes these things are just not going to be working unless they do. So I guess Discord is going to be off again, on again. What is this? A high school relationship? I don't know what's going on. Ricky asks, how do I subscribe to enter Discord? Well, you can either be a patron of mine at patreon.com/Chris Pirillo. You can also go to chrispirillo.com. That currently redirects. Links in the video description. Or twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo and do it that way. So being a patron or a sub will get you pretty much almost immediate access to the Discord chat. I say almost immediate because sometimes there's a little bit of a time shift. Patreon's pretty much the most stable way of doing it. And it is open 24/7 so long as Discord is working. The salmon thing here, he's not saying are we fish, but when Discord kind of disconnects you, I saw that yesterday. I was like, why are all my texts that I'm writing, why are they turning out salmon colored? That would be why. I was actually salmon.
Sorry,
for a little while.
Be stuff that was pending.
Oh, okay. Is that dude? That's Aaron.
Yep.
Okay, I couldn't see because the username was kind of cut off there for a bit.
Marble Dash.
There's
the picture.
Oh, I see. For the picture of the Darth Vader helmet that I was certainly referencing there. Yeah, the Discord chat's been great. It's neat to be able to have a foundation of a community.
There's gonna be like 30 of these because I was trying to upload.
Oh,
before,
so wait, you can't stop them from coming in?
It's still spinning.
Okay. Well, y'all are gonna see a lot of Darth Vader-y, Chris Pirillo things.
Yeah.
But you asked the question, and I did answer. There's another good one that was just like the other one. Okay. Well then.
Sorry, guys.
Wrath also asked, Chris, will you ever do a TED Talk? You should. What would I do a TED Talk about? I don't know. I actually had a meeting before tonight. The reason why we're doing it at this time, I was a little late getting out of it. I'm actually an advisor for a company that hasn't really launched yet. I mean, I guess they're kind of public, but I did a blog post for them, Narrative, so I know they're public in that, and they're working on what is to be effectively a network that values your contribution, but also your reputation. So it's not like you go on Facebook and you're just like every other user. It's not like you go on Twitter and it's like you're every other user. It's not any one of the, like your YouTube and any other user, but your reputation actually matters. The things you contribute actually matter to your reputation on said network. Across a variety of niches is what they call them. So if your background, kind of like Quora, and Quora has, elements of this certainly, but they've got an interesting business model, and it's what I believe social media should have been, eons ago. Oh, there's Earl. Earl's holding on to that. I don't know if Jerry ever got a picture with his. I think
he does.
Did he?
It's on my Instagram.
Couldn't remember that. I quickly subscribed when I could through Twitch. Well, thank you, Vince Papineau. We will see you over in Twitch here after this particular broadcast. But the thought process that I was able to lend to the development of this is specifically from a creator's perspective. And I gave him a few ideas. It's like, well, it'd be really cool. Creators have to worry about this, this, and this. But what would be really cool is if I could do this, and I think your platform would work. And then you can see his wheels spinning. I'm like, dude, if he actually is able to create the thing that I want, it's going to take our live videos like completely to the next level. So excited. So excited. Was I too blurry front? What was that? Jake Jarvis just joined. Wow. Old guard. I think I've known Jake ever since, well, a long time. A long time. I think we met, God, where was it? South by Southwest was the first time we met, is what I want to say. A lot of people have known me for a long time, but I've done a lot of stuff in the past, including now advising companies. This would be maybe the third or fourth time that I've been tapped to be an advisor for a company. So I never thought about doing a TED Talk. I suppose if I had a little more focus and direction of what people wanted me to cover, then I could do it. But I don't know. I guess I don't feel like anything I have to say is that important.
And
Gnome Dex was also the TED model, but I didn't speak. I just found people who I thought were interesting. Someone asked, "How's the 10 fund going?" Right now, we've actually made it halfway, which is impressive for pretty much just one day's worth of effort. And I'm happy to say that. I'm very happy to see that as well. I don't know if we're going to make it the rest of the way. It's still a long haul. But if you want to check, head over to go.tagjag.com/device-fund. You can contribute if you want, or if not, no big deal. I still stand pretty resolute in saying that I'm fine in living without an iPhone 10. We did talk about that at the meeting too. He had an iPhone 10. He's like, oh, so what do you think about this? And he knew my answer to that. I'm like, don't get me started. How much time do we have? Oh, but it's true. It is true though. Someone asks, is that you in the thumbnail? It is, actually. That's a 4th grade, 3rd grade picture of me. Buck teeth. I never really had buck teeth. I think I made them bucky. Like, I don't know why.
You did it on purpose?
It was cool. Yeah, I didn't have buck teeth. I never had to have braces. Ever. Hang on, I saw Jake's comment there. It says, that's correct, Chris. Finally figured out how to make Patreon love my Discord. Hey, everyone. Yeah, hopefully the connection won't be too incredibly wonky. Patreon's been relatively solid in terms of, like, Twitch. As long as you're a subscriber, like a for real subscriber at, like, what, $5, $10, or $25 on Twitch, it'll work. But if you do the free option on Twitch, when you connect your Amazon Prime account, that's where things get really wonky. But Patreon has certainly been rock solid. Moha Bukhari asks, Chris, my iPhone 6 is dying, already a zombie, and I'm not convinced with 2017 iPhone or Pixel devices. I'm considering upgrading, switching to Oneplus 5T. But the review so far is suspiciously too good. What do you think? Well, some people have said it's what the Pixel should have been. I remain interested in looking at the OnePlus 5T. Jerry mentioned last night in the live stream that he knew someone over there, and then I messaged him like, hey, I'm serious. He says he's going to see if he can dig up the contact. I have every reason to believe he will. He's always been good on his word. So hopefully I'll be able to get a review unit sooner rather than later. It's on my radar. Now, I don't know if we can do a device fund for that specifically. I'd hesitate to requisition the 10 funds. Those will likely slide into the cost or the price that I paid for the iPhone 8 Plus, keeping with the Apple family. But I mentioned this, like a monthly Android flagship device fund live stream in this channel, just to kick up funds, because I already pretty much lost an opportunity to be able to review the Razer. That's now here and gone. You need to get on these devices immediately. Otherwise, you're not able to get them. And by the time you talk about them a month later, they're now, quote-unquote, irrelevant, being replaced by something else. It does look suspiciously too good. I think I'm more excited for the software than I am the hardware. I'd be more interested in another month or two when they roll out Android. But OnePlus, I think, may be making the right moves, minus some concerns that they've had with privacy, like big time. They're kind of under a microscope right now, which is concerning. But as long as they reply and don't try to sweep anything under the rug, I think I'll be okay with that. Vincent Papano says, does having my YouTube Red bring any benefit like the Prime membership does? Well, YouTube Red for you is great because you don't have to sit through ads. YouTube Red, I have no problem recommending for anybody at all. Like, as much as you use YouTube Red is just the easiest $10 a month you'll ever spend, or $15. We've got a family plan here. Because Diana watches videos, and I'd rather Jedi not be exposed to commercials. So, plus commercials are generally annoying. The value to a creator is that as you're watching this video, I'm getting a percentage of that $10 a month. So it's better if you do like a sub of mine. Although it's actually the best thing you could do is be a patron. They take less of a cut. Google takes what I think Patreon is 10, 15, 20% a cut. Google takes 30% from Super Chat, and then Twitch takes 50%. 50% is lost right off the top of a sub, so it's not great. It's maybe convenient for you, but I'd say a Patreon's probably been the most stable for me in terms of percentages, the best thing that plays in my favor. So let's say you watch 2 hours worth of videos this month, and an hour of that is spent on my video, like a live hour-long video. I would get 50% of that $10 you spent on YouTube Red. So the longer videos that I do could actually play into my favor if you happen to have YouTube. Someone asked if I have a job besides YouTube. Dude, I've had a job since long before YouTube existed, so the answer is yes. YouTube didn't start me. It's not going to end me. YouTube is merely a platform, and I don't see anywhere in my title that says I'm an employee of Google. So the answer is no. Question 562, and I saw a screenshot there. Oh, hopefully I kind of answered that there. Are you a fan of the Blade Runner franchise? Asked Tony Yoon. I have not watched the second one. I barely remember the first one, but do want to watch it again at some point in the future. Maybe they got it on one of those streaming services. Do you have an opinion on Ridley Scott in a cinematic universe, a dystopian future like the Alien franchise or the Blade Runner franchise. Not really into Alien. Blade Runner, I think it was captivating when I was in high school. Haven't watched it maybe but once or twice since then. I actually enjoyed Cloud Atlas, even though I did not read the novel. The Wachowski brothers or sisters are siblings. Thank you. I think they got kind of raked across the coals. I don't know if it was critically acclaimed, but I watched Cloud Atlas on a flight once, and I'm like, that was kind of different. It was interesting, and it's like there was just something about it that made me want to watch it again. And I've actually enjoyed that movie more and more the more times I've seen it. It's one of those movies that gets better with every time because you catch different things. Like the next time you see it, the next time you see it. I would say that there are elements of Cloud Atlas that have that kind of dystopian feeling to them. But I genuinely enjoyed it. Yeah, Cloud Atlas, Tony. So we may think alike there. So let's see here. The secret's out. East support Apple. Well used. He's in. Huh?
I don't know.
I Marble Dash. You may have to edit that again. From YouTube. How's your experience with the Pixel 2 XL been since it was replaced? I've been having a good time. I mean, I'm a little concerned right now because I don't have a screen protector. You might remember I was using a Zag screen protector. Then yesterday, I dropped the phone, but not very high, from a high up height, like a couple feet maybe, and it dropped and it landed, and it didn't scratch anything, luckily, but the screen protector popped off. The adhesive was just not very good, so I basically messaged them like, dude, your screen, here, let me show you. The screen protector popped off, and they knew their adhesive in the first batches was not that good. So if you've had a problem with that, I would definitely report it to Zag. I'm sure they would replace it. So he says he's going to get one to me, hopefully on Monday or by Monday. But I'm a little concerned about using the device because you might remember I had a scratch on the first one that I had before I had burn-in. So I'm treating it very. I should be just holding on to it with my gloves. More than just my actual fingers, my little muddy fingers. Twosome Gaming asks if you had a choice for a movie to be remade, Chris, what would it be? Oh man, remakes are always tough because I don't think especially if I've got this feeling for seeing a movie at a certain time. Seeing a remake it doesn't have the same feeling to it. The Garbage Pail Kids movie, I think, would be fun to see again. I think that would mostly be CG. That was a disaster. I mean, even as an adult, when I saw it, I'm like, this could have been so much better. Did not fare very well in the theaters, but that's one that I think could get remade, and I'd be very, very happy to watch that. Being a huge Garbage Pail Kids fan, I have been pretty much since the second series. I've been a fan. And I'm very happy to be that. There's not many of us out there. It's a very small community, but a very dedicated community. Seemingly, we're a subset. But I still have my Garbage Pail Kids. Collected them. They're one of my very few collectibles that actually remained intact. Series collectibles from childhood. Speaking of theaters, what do you think of Dolby Cinema and their new cinema tech and their new theaters? It is on Amazon Prime or Netflix. I'll have to look it up on either one. I'm not really big into audio stuff. I mean, I like good audio, but let me put it this way. Like, we've got our Apple TV 4K connected in the bedroom. I couldn't route it through our receiver because the receiver couldn't handle the signal. It's got HDMI, but it just couldn't handle the HDR signal, or certainly the 4K resolution. So I bypassed the receiver and went directly into the TV. So I'm using the TV's rather lackluster speakers to watch content on Apple TV. So I as much as I'd like something different, it's not worth the hassle of going through the process of getting this connected, that connected, upgrading, and all that crap. So I'm not an audiophile, and sometimes something that works well enough is well enough for me. I can hear the difference, but I'm not willing to spend that much more on a lot of that. At home or certainly in theaters. I'm not someone who necessarily chases that or could tell you the difference. There have been people sat me down like, listen to this one, then listen to this one. I'm like, they sound the same. No, but listen to this part. Yep, they sound the same. But can you hear that this one's a little better? I'm like, maybe. Well, it's because your headphones suck. Well, okay, then they suck. I don't feel I need to upgrade it because if it's diminishing returns, it's diminishing returns. I'm still not an audiophile. So the answer is I don't care. Mad Balls. We play with our Mad Balls. Mad Balls are coming back too, J-Hockey17. Boy, I'm glad I'm not the only one who's right around the age of 21 in here. We're twice that age. If you remember Mad Balls. Man, yeah, I had one too. I can't remember which one. They just released them again. The Mad Balls have been re-released in, I guess, a different kind of style. But yeah, isn't that pretty neat? Mad Balls, I liked them. They were a play on the whole gross, disgusting things that were very, very fun back in the day. And I guess they've got new gross and disgusting things to collect for kids these days or adults. But yeah, I remember those
So
easily.
if you're going to CES.
I am not going to CES unless someone's paying the way, because that's expensive.
And you pick up the flu.
And it's a pain, and you get sick, and the only reason you go is to see things ahead of time that may or may not actually ship, and you have to fight crowds, and you have to fight people who are going to cover quote-unquote exclusives that are not really exclusives. And let me tell you, having gone to CES, you get just as much out of it sitting at home watching a TV or watching a computer screen as you do going there, apart from the experience. Now, the exception to that rule is if I'm sponsored. If I'm there on an engagement, well, then I've got a reason to be there. But to just be there, that just doesn't... Oh, new batteries. Okay. Oh, it's a new phone. Well, that's... There you go. Oh, it's a TV it's an inch bigger. Okay, it's reasonable. Oh, the speakers are better, you say. They're 3.0, not 2.0? Oh, well, that's pretty, I can keep doing this, people. Oh, look, phone cases.
One's pink and one's purple.
The exception to the rule is sponsorship, which I don't have lined up. I don't have any indications that that's going to happen. I think the last time I went to CES was when I was working with Reese's, which was fun. That was a blast. That you want to talk about a reason to go? Reese's peanut butter cups, great reason to go. That was a fun engagement. That was a fun sponsored engagement. I enjoyed that greatly. I really did. It was a blast. Like, people kept asking, why are you here at CES? Well, the technology that they used to shrink the Reese's peanut butter, it was all geeky and everything. But I'm like, dude, it's free Reese's peanut butter cups. Do you really want to know the answer? I'm like, no, just give me the Reese's. I'm like, there you go. Just have it. Eat up. It's paid for. Tony Yoon says, I'm waiting for the day Chris becomes old and senile and does a live stream. What, are you saying it's not happening now? I don't know. Where's your wedding ring? Oh, don't you worry about that. It's right over here. Hang on. I know exactly where it's at. See? Wonder Twin Powers. Activate. Form of Darth Vader. What's your thumbnail, Liz? You want a better thumbnail than what I got?
I'm tired.
Alright, well then you just rewind to this timestamp and do it. Unless you want Chris Pirillo nerdy as the white and nerdy as the thumbnail.
That's great.
Tell me about it. Reese's is disgusting. I disagree. Although I can't eat it anymore. Milk chocolate's off the menu, that's for sure. Which is sad. I did have some peanut butter today. If we're really gonna steer into diets, I'd be happy to. But this is the thing with TLDR. You decide what I'm talking about. You ask a good question. You say something that's worth talking about, and yeah, we'll talk about it. If you don't, we're not gonna talk about it. So this is pretty much on y'all. The ring is out of the packaging. Don't worry, Moha. Moha Bokari. I think it came out of packaging. I don't wear jewelry. I don't like wearing anything like that. I don't like tight clothes. I don't like wearing necklaces. I don't like feeling like I'm trapped in something. So even that ring itself is pretty loose. Someone asked if I use Linux. Dude, you must be new here, because I just mentioned, you must have just tuned into the stream. I mentioned I'm running Android. That's Linux, dude. Like, I didn't realize I had to explain that every day, but I do, apparently. Yeah, this is the problem. The chat, like, I got them on the whole candy kick. Sorry about that, everybody. Now, you're probably hungry. You see, this is the thing. You get to watch the stream. You get to eat whatever you want to eat. I have to wait until I'm done with the stream, and then the next one before I'm able to eat anything.
Someone just asked how old you are.
I'm old enough to know that you shouldn't ask someone how old they are. Unless are you dating me?
Or
Hang on, Liz. Hang on. I gotta have an answer. Are we dating?
He also asked your net worth, so maybe he's interested.
Oh, really? So you gotta tell me a little bit about yourself. You into that thing? I'm not. I'm married. I'm happily married. I got a kid. I don't know what's wrong with some people. You should get a tat on your butt that says "Use the Force." Why? Okay, hang on. There's a couple things that's wrong with that Twosome Gaming. One, tattoo. Okay. Second, why would I put it there? And don't even get me started on why I should put it there. I don't want to know. That's not, I'm not into it. That's not really what I want to talk about at all. Wondering how many inches, what?
I don't even look at it. It's not even worth it.
You people wonder why I ignore YouTube chat. There's a good reason. Since you've really enjoyed your third-party launcher experience, do you think Pixel 2 tunes that experience, or are you curious another device might offer a better one? Oh, I'm very curious that the experience is going to be solid. Like in making sure that it's something that I want on a regular basis. So I'm always going to be looking for something that may be better. But inevitably, I feel like it's set the benchmark, or has been a fantastic baseline for what a good software experience can and should be. And then from there, I'm able to kind of ascertain, well, should I move this direction? And then I look at, well, what are the other values of said device beyond the software experience, which may be more modern and more up-to-date with less third-party tinkering. I may look to seeing that, the cameras are outstanding. Maybe it handles certain features in a different way or a more seamless way. So I don't feel like I'm ever going to rest in constantly looking for something that could be better. And that's I think where some people fall short in relation to how they deal with technology. They think the device they have is awesome. I don't think I can't think of any device I'm actually having or seeing is awesome. I don't. Because that's not how technology works. To me, it's just good enough. But I'm not slagging technology for it. That's technology's role, right? It's just good enough. Like, I got a TV in the other room. It's good enough. I got a phone in my hand. It's good enough. I got a video game. It's good enough. I got, a calculator. It's good enough. Because inevitably, if you have the perfect device, where are you going to go from there? Are you going to stick with that perfect device? That's kind of silly when it comes to technology, because there's always going to be a new device. You're going to look at it differently because something new comes out, and then that's perfect. I'm like, well, that means that the thing that you had before isn't perfect. And it's not just because that point in time made it imperfect or perfect. It's just it wasn't perfect. No, I just don't see any device as being perfect. I see it as serving a function, as always needing to be improved upon, hardware and software. It's never in that state. Now, let's go ahead and contrast that with the Star Wars nesting dolls. These are perfect. They never need to change. They never need to be recharged. They never need to be upgraded, firmware booted, or anything. They do this. They work. Look at that. Oh my God, there was a nesting stormtrooper inside, and then I can close this nesting doll, and look at that. It's just perfect. This is perfect. It does what it needs to do. Technology doesn't. Technology is in a constant state of change. And anything in a constant state of change simply cannot be perfect. Cannot. Will not. Always room for innovation, just hasn't been invented yet or publicly shown. Well, that's what I'm saying. So is the perfect thing right around the corner? Well, then what's the next thing? Is that one going to be perfect? Technology is not perfect. Y'all need to stop thinking that it is. Y'all, seriously, stop thinking that the thing that you have right now is perfect. It isn't. You just don't realize how imperfect it is until the next thing comes along, which tells you one thing. It wasn't perfect. There's no such thing. That's not how technology works, which drives me nuts when these people get on, oh, this is the best and the awesome and it's perfect and it's beautiful and everything's the most awesome thing ever.
Someone just commented that you talk too much.
Well,
I'm on.
Hang on. Just give me a second. Wait, what? Video, right?
Yeah.
Video needs what? Audio? Hang on. I talk too much. In a video that requires audio in a broadcast that is specifically a talk show or in that format, and I talk too much.
And the name is Chris Pirillo.
No, it's not that I talk too much. It's just you don't think enough. Try using this before flapping your yap. Or using your fingers. What was I talking about? The sense of entitlement before? It's like getting accused of being egotistical on your own blog.
Someone said interpretive dance. Oh no. For the next half hour, there you go.
God, some people. Yeah, just mute the dang thing. Trust me, I sound better on mute. I will be the first to admit that.
Do you ever watch your past vlogs? Jedi does.
Yeah, I don't. Sometimes, like, if she'll ask, she wants to watch Mommy Owie video. That's
we watched Hawaii today.
Birth vlog of Hawaii. Yeah, that one came up because of the thumbnail I used for Diana. That's the reason why that one was popular. It was a very tiny bathing suit. Yes. Back when we were footloose and fancy free. So every so often we will pull up a vlog. Or Jedi will watch it and ask, "Where's baby?" Or well, baby wasn't there yet, and this looks different, and she'll ask questions. But I said that years ago when we were doing the daily vlog thing. I'm like, I think it'd be really neat to have a lot of that documented. I'd like to get more video with Jedi. I haven't been able to as of late. But to be able to keep those videos for posterity, like Diana recorded something that'll go into Geek Family Fun. It's uploaded, it's just not public. Where Jedi right now with like little figurines, I'll pick one up and I'll say, "Hey, do you want to go to the store?" And then she'll pick another one up and say, "We're gonna go and we're gonna do this." So we'll kind of play the little, we'll do that like with the little figures or the big figures. And so Diana, she said, "I want to capture this. I want to record this." So she got this shot of us playing with the taller figurines, and that I think it was a lot of fun. To do. So to be able to record that stuff, to be able to watch in the future, I think is kind of thrilling to me, because I never had a lot of that stuff. When I was younger, I couldn't look back into my parents' past. Not that I would necessarily want to, but just to have that option. Part of growing up, one of our favorite nights, and we'd beg for it sometimes, like home movie night. And my dad would bring up the old movie, and we have those now digitized. I got them digitized, but the old Super 8 reels. He put them in the projector, and and we'd remember it. And there was no audio associated with them; it was just the video. And we loved those nights. Make a popcorn, we reminisce, and it was just a lot of fun. And then years later, we got a VHS a camcorder, and so we could record video. It was unbelievable. We could do it all in real time and hear audio and video. It was stellar. I didn't pick it up, as frequently. I mean, we played with it off and on, but it was still incredibly cumbersome and not exactly, cheap. Just the power that Jedi will be able to have in the palm of her hand within months to be able to record video or photos is just, to me, it's outstanding. To know that she has access to something that I didn't have, a piece of technology that wasn't perfect back then. It worked well enough, but it wasn't perfect. It never was. Twosome Gaming asks, "What is your favorite Weird Al Yankovic song, Chris?" Favorite one? I was always a fan of some of his original work. "Happy Birthday" was always one of my favorites, although it's not exactly politically correct. But there've been albums I've enjoyed. I like his original stuff a lot, especially some of his later original stuff. Pancreas is a fun one. But I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I don't know. That one's hard to nail down. That's kind of hard. It's hard for me to pick a favorite. Like if you ask me like my favorite Star Wars movie, I'd be like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't. I find it hard to pick a favorite because there's so many to enjoy, and I'd rather enjoy them all, for different reasons. I feel I can enjoy them, for different reasons. Someone asks if I still do your live stream all day like you used to. This is it. You get an hour on YouTube or so. Some days you get more than that, and then you get about maybe an hour on Twitch. We'll be heading over to Twitch in just a few minutes. Give me about, after about an hour on this broadcast. So head over to twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. Follow me there. You'll get notified when I start streaming live, and we'll basically continue this, right? The Twitch videos that I'm currently doing aren't being saved for posterity. These are. That may change. Maybe we'll try an IRL tonight and try to keep it for posterity. We'll see how that goes on the Twitch channel. You get a Chris that has a lot of things going on with his life. And I just noticed, why did they keep tags on these gloves, man? I hate tags. Hate them. They just annoy me. They just don't need to exist. Home Movies was a great cartoon. I don't know if I ever watched that, if it was a cartoon. Join the notification squad. Indeed, it's easy to do. You press the notification button, and then you'll know when I'm live. And you can decide whether or not you want to watch, for whatever reason you may want to watch. I usually do the live videos every weekday in the other YouTube channel, youtube.com/LockerGnome. And then Battlefront gameplay, it may very well be happening in the other YouTube channel, youtube.com/Star Wars Radar. But I don't know. I don't know where most of the Star Wars community is going to engage. I don't know where most of my community is going to engage. I'm inclined to think that they would do it on Twitch because of the gaming and because we have so many subs now. And I say so many. I mean, we're over 100. That makes me happy. I'm very happy about that. Joe Tashi asks, if you could, would you have Weird Al Yankovic as a guest on TLDR or the Twitch stream? Yeah, but what would we talk about? Like I'd be like, all right, so, what are your plans? Are you working on obviously you're working on anything new? How are you finding that transition from a traditional media construct to a more a new media construct where you've got to be constantly producing? Are you finding yourself, wanting to do more work, for others, like in terms of directing or acting, or producing for others, or are you still inclined to do self-producing and continue down the path that pretty much has been the bulk of your career? He does have a new the tour is happening. I apparently missed out on the opportunity to get tickets. I'm sad about that. I would love to have heard him play an acoustic set. That would have been incredibly unique. He's got his box set coming out. I'd be inclined. I wish I had the money. Honestly, I wish I had the money to get the vinyl, Weird Al on vinyl, because I don't have any of his vinyl. I have some of his CDs, no, all of his CDs. Used to have his cassette tapes. Of course, digital albums are easy to get to. A few autographs, but I would want to get I would like to get the vinyl just to have the vinyl, just to have it on record, off the record. I have a one-up on you. I publish almost all the content. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm reading your stuff. Love his parodies, but he has so many good songs. Love his recent song, Word Crimes. Yeah, Word Crimes is good. I want the Cake vinyl box set, but it's crazy expensive.
I don't know. This is live.pirillo.com, so it says they missed live.
Wait, isn't it?
The Discord chat
doesn't it redirect? What live.pirillo.com I think redirects somewhere.
No, but they mean like that it was 24 hours.
Oh, give me a second. Hang on. Live.pirillo.com. Oh yeah, it redirects to youtube.com/LockerGnome. But
Omelet Fromage, live.pirillo.com, that's the Discord chat where people are there 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's the same.
This is really it. I mean, because remember, live.pirillo.com redirected to a chat room with a video embed, which I don't know if I'd be inclined to embed the Discord chat, though. I think there's some validity in keeping it kind of behind the wall. I mean, we know when we're publishing live, so they know when they're actually going to be on a video stream. But yeah, you just got to change with the times. I mean, I don't think it's practical to do something 24/7. I don't think I can handle that anymore. It's more than just me, and it's certainly a line that I don't care to cross. I really think that going after these or trying these shorter form, hour-long live video feeds and interactive ways is far more compelling a use case for me than it would be going live 24/7. But it's why I set up multiple YouTube channels, because I may want to do a dedicated video on a topic on weekdays, but then also do live video streams. So in order to be able to do 2 videos a day, I basically had to do 2 different channels. But now working into doing IRL on Twitch, well, there's a compelling reason for there. I'll take cheers, I'll take the subs and all the acceleration we normally get from Twitch engagement. We picked up a hefty amount of people yesterday with the Barnacles stream, so I wanted to follow it up almost immediately thereafter, if only to let people know that, hey, we're doing this on a very regular basis. There is the vegan ice cream we had, dairy free. It was free. We got it as we were checking out. I knew the store manager, and I said, well, we want to try it, but it was like $5-6. I'm like, for that, I think it was like a pint. I'm like, that's just not worth the price. It was tasty. It was very, very good. Matt Geek has joined the server. Well, you know, if you're wondering, we have Windows geeks, Mac geeks, Linux geeks, Android geeks, iOS geeks, geeks of all shapes, sizes, colors. Hopefully, more Star Wars geeks than just me. Weird Al, Yankovic geeks. There are geeks for anything and everything out there. So we're not an exclusive community, to a certain type. And certainly the conversation goes from food all the way to something that's not food in the chat room when we're not doing a live broadcast. But thank you everybody for tuning in. I do appreciate the support. As I've said many times over, we do this kind of show, TLDR, the Locker Room Daily Report, every weekday in the other YouTube channel, youtube.com/LockerGnome. Yes, you should subscribe to it as well. It's just as free as this one is. Turn on notifications so you can be made aware. It is a chance for you to ask me questions, whether it be through Discord chat, through super chats on YouTube, or regular questions on YouTube if we're able to get to them in the course of the conversation. You determine the fate of this particular video, not me. I'm just here for you. So thank you for being there for me. Thank you for being a sub if you are. Thank you for being a patron. If you are, thank you for all the super chats. I will see you in just a few minutes over on twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. I love you. I appreciate you. And at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. May the Force be with you.